Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be doing a Hatha yoga practice that will help the body have increased muscle tone, and naturally we're going to be increasing our flexibility range of motion to go with that. Um, I commonly hear people make the claim that flexibility does not help with injuries, but that it's actually strength training that does. What I've experienced as a athlete and someone who's had a lot of different injuries is that the combination of strength and stretching is very helpful for healing, very helpful for keeping alignment, especially in the spine and other joints as well. The small muscles benefit by strengthening, and they can be easily overlooked even for people who do a lot of fitness routines. So we'll focus on the small muscles, we'll focus on moving the joints, and we'll focus on developing muscle tone. And truthfully, most strengthening activities involve a certain amount of opening as well. So like when you contract your bicep, you're lengthening the back of the arm. When you contract your tricep by extending the arm, you're lengthening the bicep. So this whole notion of flexibility is not healing and strengthening is, like, the two often go together. So we're going to focus on balancing that out, balancing the breath. We'll stand tall and emphasize inhale and exhale. We'll notice the alignment of the feet. When the feet are nice and even, we can be more balanced through the legs, ankles, knees, hips, low back. Find more balance that way. And we'll do the first dynamic stretching exercise with the hands forward and open the arms. And then hands come together and repeat that. So, back to what I was saying about the contraction of muscles often leads to the lengthening of the opposite side. So when we open the arms back, the muscles between the shoulder blades are contracting, they're getting stronger. And the chest is opening. It's not a huge stretch, it's not a huge opening for the chest, but it is using some flexibility. And the muscles between the shoulder blades, they not only get stronger, but by engaging those muscles, we're increasing blood flow and circulation to them. So when we do stuff for the back later, there's more blood flow, more circulation in the upper back. So the body experiences a lot less pain when you have a lot more circulation. We've done enough of that there. You can shake out the hands a bit. Let's try rolling the shoulders. Deep breath. And both directions. Very good. And now we're going to do paint the house. So it's fingers down, wrists up, and then push through the palms and come on down. And arms up and touch down. Half lift, knees bend, come on up. And repeat. Bending the knees, very helpful for standing up with that great length. And bending the knees is good for touching down, especially if you have tight hamstrings or tight low back. But especially if you're standing up, you really want to get that back flat. It's very important to not just get the most out of the core muscles, but to protect the discs from unnecessary pressure, all that weight going into the discs. You want to use the core to support that weight, not put it into rounded discs. Good. Next time we touch down, we can take our first downward dog and have the head down and the hips high. Deep breath. And knees down and lengthen. And round the back and lengthen the back. So again, back with the theme of creating opening, flexibility in the body, but also contracting the muscles. So when you round the back, you have the option of really lifting and contracting the core. So you can actually feel the abdominal muscles work really hard if you focus on squeezing them and rounding deeper. And then so you stretch deeper and you strengthen deeper. As simple as this sequence is, it's a great opportunity to have profound strength in the body. And some students just like to do it lightly, fluidly, focus on warming up. That's perfectly fine. Remember, when I encourage you to have an option of doing something a little harder, more strengthening, doesn't mean that option is going to be the best option for you. We have to constantly assess where we're at on a given day and make good choices about what the body needs, whether it's a good day to do a little more, do medium, do a little less. You want the range and the mental flexibility to consider all the things. Let's take a child's pose. Let the body rest. I like to fold my arms under my head. Some students will extend the arms a lot. That's totally fine. Something in between. Deep breath. Good. Now we're ready for another downward dog. Focus on lifting the hips very high and lift out of the shoulders. Have the feet parallel. Deep breath. And knees down. Let's go ahead and lower to face down. Reach back through the feet. Lift the chest and the legs. This is the locust pose. Exhale, relief. Lift the chest and the legs and the arms back. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the chest and lift the hands. Keep the feet down, just hold here. Notice how by lifting the hands, again, you build more muscle tone between the shoulder blades. That's good, and then we'll lower. And then take Cobra, lift, keep the elbows a little bit bent, and open the chest. Exhale, release. Bring the hands lower, and then take up dog. Or you can just lift the hands and knees. Otherwise, upward dog, draw into the core, push back, downward dog. And knees down. Extend the feet and extend the right leg. Lift just like hip level. Lift the left hand. Very good. Switch sides. Extend the left leg. Lift just hip level. Lift the right arm. And release. We'll come back to face down again. Inhale, locust, arms back. Exhale, release. Now keep the feet on the ground and just lift the arms and chest. Exhale, lower. And one more time, lift arms, chest, and legs. Exhale, release. And place the hands alongside the chest. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Now tuck the chin into the chest and roll the cobra. Exhale, lower. Bring the hands to the low ribs and take up dog. Draw into the abdominal muscles. Exhale, downward dog. And put the knees down. Now let's go ahead and turn to the side. Walk or jump the feet apart. And take the straddle pose. And put a bend in the knees and come on up. And open up the right foot. Turn the back foot in, spread all the toes, and take warrior. Next is side angle, and then reverse warrior. You can do neutral, that's better for the back if you have an injury, otherwise going deeper back. Abs in either way, and the knee lunging and opening either way. And then come back to side angle, and back to warrior. You can do hands in prayer and then stretch the wrists. That's a nice little extra additional movement to get the wrists stay nice and flexible. Switch sides. Really open the left foot, really turn the back foot, and notice if the hips tip, do your best to level them. Spread all the toes if you can. Warrior. So when I level this hip, I'm feeling a great stretch in this hip socket. The knee opens, and then I'm going to take side angle. This elbow is light on the thigh, so I'm using core, not pushing and sinking into it. Side angle, a breath or two here. It's more of like a flow sequence. You can do neutral warrior lift or deeper reverse warrior. Strong back leg, abs in, lunging, not beyond the ankle, but a lot of times people pull back, lunge, unless your thigh needs a rest. Come back to side angle, light elbow, hands to heart lift, level those hips, stretch the wrists, warrior. Deep breath, arms and legs relax, hinge down, center the feet, lunge to one side, pause for a breath or two, lunge to the other side. See how we're strengthening one leg and getting into the other leg in terms of flexibility. The theme of doing strength and flexibility together is always there, usually there, most often there. Just keep breathing. Come back to center, put a little bend in the knees, come on up, open the toes, and take goddess pose. The knees opening. If you need to hold the knees, that's fine. Otherwise, the arms are up. Breath is full and deep. Arms relaxed, slowly walk together. One more strengthening activity for the legs. Chair pose, a little bit of a chair or a deep chair, your choice. And then draw into the core, arms up. Exhale. Downward dog. And right foot steps up. Warrior one. Nice strong back leg. Knee tracks forward, slightly open. And then one round of either swinging the arms back like wings, like all the way, or just touching down. And then draw up, switch sides. Downward dog, left side. Warrior one, hold it for a bit, lunge nice and deep into it. The thing about these warriors is when you go deeper, you're strengthened more, and also the back hip is stretching more. So again, with that theme of becoming stronger and flexible simultaneously. So you can lower all the way and swing the arms back to the hips like wings, or just lower and touch near the heel. Draw into the core. Complete that movement. Breathe. Downward dog. Right leg high, extended dog. And switch sides. You've done both sides. Take the knees on the ground. Elbows down. Plank on the elbows with the hands in prayer. Hips dropping shoulder level. Not too low, but not too high. Good. Knees down. Tuck them in a bit. Dolphin pose. Lifting up and out of the shoulders. Knees down. Hands down. Plank pose. Firming the legs, lifting out of the shoulders, breathing deep. And then side plank. Option to put the knee down. That's a good option if you're a little tired. Otherwise, stagger the feet or stack the legs. So you can do the kickstand or stagger the feet. Side plank, hips lift. Switch sides, no rush. The less you rush, the more the core strengthens. Those little muscles we talked about that stabilize the joints. Side plank, remember your options. Stay with the breath. If you can't get enough strength, you can come back to plank and do a push-up. If you need to rest immediately, that's perfectly fine. Do your push-up, then take dog. Knees down. And then go ahead and adjust to sitting. Make the legs wide. And then we'll do a lateral bend, side to side. So we're stretching, but not holding. And that's referred to as dynamic stretching. Really good for circulation, helps to thaw out the fascia. Sometimes a longer hold is really good to slowly go deep. That's what people who lack flexibility benefit from. Although combining the circulation of movement with slowly going deep, in my experience, has been the ultimate. And some people don't want or need to have tremendously flexible bodies. They just want to feel the ability to move in all ranges of motion and feel good in their body. All right, we're going to complete both sides. And now hold. When you hold, it's very tempting to kind of reach for the foot, work into that goal-oriented part of the mind, or submit to that goal-oriented part of the mind. But the goal is to keep the chest open, right? So if you focus on that goal, you can still be goal-oriented without having to reach down so much. If you can keep the chest open and reach down really far, that's one thing. But if you do that and you're starting to lose the breath, I don't recommend it. Stay steady. Do your best to stay calm deep inside. And let's do the other side. Chest opening, arm up. You had a very achy shoulder. You could do the bend with the hand down or behind the back, but the arm being up and over, it brings in a little bit more length through the side, but also you're toning that shoulder, especially if you're not collapsing. And so back with the theme of, I would call this a stretch pose, and like a chair is like a strength pose, but each has its aspect of, sort of yin and yang. There's a dot of each in each. This has its aspect of strength, especially with the shoulder, with the arm being lifted, toning. The strength it takes to stay concentrated on the breath. It's different than pure muscular strength. Come back to center and go ahead and bring the legs gradually back to each other. We're going to roll the femurs now in both directions. Come back to hands and knees. Extend the right leg, just lift hip level. Flex the ankle, squeeze the hamstring. Switch the sides. Extend the left leg, just lift hip level. Flex the ankle, squeeze the hamstring. Release. Lower all the way down. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Next is the Sphinx. Very good. Exhale, release. Use the core and lift. And switch to sitting again. One leg half butterfly, or one leg cross-legged, some people call it. It's essentially the setup for a Janu Shirshasana, but we're going to focus on a twist. So bring the arms up. And twist to the right. Come back to the center position. And let's switch legs. For twists, if you notice it's really hard to sit straight, sometimes sitting on a cushion would be better. Me telling you that the first time would have been better, but me telling you versus not at all, probably better than nothing. You can use that for next time you practice. Arms up, deep breath, and twist to the left. Come back to center. Let's sit cross-legged now. Let's conclude our practice with some cooling breath and then sitting peacefully. So 5 times we're going to purse the lips and sip the breath into the mouth like breathing through a straw. Breathe out through the nose. Yeah, go ahead and close the eyes. Let's just take 5 breaths or so with a little bit of quiet time. And come back to the body. And we'll conclude practicing with a clearing breath and 1 round of Om. So breathe in, let it all out, and Om. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the practice. And if you need a different type of practice, remember the library has an extensive collection of all different levels of effort, some very easy, restorative, something that's gentle with a little strengthening, Hatha yoga, which tends to be middle ground, strengthening Hatha, and vinyasa, which tends to be progressively stronger and harder. So check it all out. Remember to drink water, take good care of yourself, be kind to yourself and those around you. Check out the links below for donations, send a drop-in for class, and if you're not sending financial support, then support the channel by leaving a positive comment, which will help drive up the engagement with the algorithm and whatnot. Like clicks are helpful too, and subscribing if you have not yet. So thank you again. Look forward to the next time more soon.